Definitely. And it all comes down to the people at its core. The service that we're providing is heavily relying on our team members that are serving our guests here. Identity inevitably is embedded in our team members. So also we're taking the legacy of a long time food establishment in this community, which is Aughours in the Villa Venice, for more than 5 decades of the community connections. We're kind of incorporating that into our identity itself. So coming from our own teams, so ideas and desires and service styles, plus the legacy that we inherited from the previous the ownership and restaurant concept. We're able to combine and also labeled it with the Hilton standards and turn into the Riverfront Grill that we see today. Definitely. So a lot of it comes down to the project management part of it, and working with the designers, coming down to what furniture we're going to pick, what color we're going to have for the table settings, what type of service that we would like to provide. It all comes down to what the clientele in the neighborhoods would like to, and it also comes down to what the ownership and also brand has encouraged us to do so. So a lot of it comes down before the restaurant even kicking off. And then second of all is that when the restaurant started to open, starting from today, a new chapter has been opened for this Riverfront Grill story. And it all comes down to what are we going to experiment in terms of what kind of service, experiences, events, activations that we're going to have at the restaurant. And it all comes down to that. So opening a restaurant, I would say the biggest challenge is the prep work that leads up to it. And also, once that landmark is done, it goes down to the endless evolution of what the clientele or the markets really want at this moment. And so we continue to improve ourselves, improve our service, and continue to innovate. In many cases, our chef is very talented. Our chef Gama Rivera, he's very talented in terms of coming up with new ideas. The trends that he's establishing is also fundamental in the challenges that we're facing here. Definitely. I'm glad you actually answered this question. So the design work, the concept for this restaurant goes down to the legacy we're carrying. A lot of the things that we're inheriting, we're trying to make sure that we have the spirit of it, retain it to our identity. The perfect example would be our bar. It used to be a very much local, cozy type of tavern, as the community has experienced in the past. So we kept a lot of these elements of that, the brass, the metal, and also the lighting that we have. The floor, we didn't even change the style of it, didn't really change too much of it, but we did change out the layout of the restaurant, the lighting, the furnishing, the ceiling was lifted slightly as well to give it a little bit more modern touch to it. So that goes down to a lot of these, the overall design concept too. We wanted to retain the Riverfront concept and a lot of the heritage that we have in the past, but then combine it with modern concepts, modern design, neutral colors, or a little bit of other themes or different styles of furnishings that we're seeing. And on the culinary side as well, the local has been coming here for that classical American type of cuisine for the longest time, and as many of you would know that the new American cuisine, the contemporary American cuisines is also coming up as well. Our chef Gama is able to really pull a lot of these talented points into our menu. We're experimenting through our weekly specials, quarterly specials, seasonal offering. They were starting to develop a piloting menus into our set all-day menus at this point, our dinner menu. So a lot of these concepts are being incorporated. We're not retaining the classic American main plates, but then also we're adding into a lot of global cuisines, a lot of ethnic foods that we're adding into it through these testing or weekly specials that we have. So now we have a very balanced menu. A couple of things I can even mention, that we even have a Cuban salad on here, and we even have a signature wedge salad that we have on the menu, and we have some the signature dishes from other ethnic groups as well, so just to attract our travelers nowadays, and also the local community who wants to experience something newer than just the classic American cuisines. Definitely. So the golden standards for all our associates across the building, to be honest, is the genuine sense of hospitality. It has been I wouldn't say a lost art, but it's definitely becoming rare nowadays in the hospitality industry world after the COVID pandemic. A lot of the workforce were very much the talented workforce back in the day is retired or left the industry to do something that is more trendy. But to me, hospitality is an industry that's never going to go away. So when we're looking for individuals, we take the long shot. We don't just say, hey, you got the skills that are required to do this job, and then that's the reason why we're going to hire you. But instead, we're really looking for characters.
You want to make sure they're good people,
Definitely.
As well as talented as well.
Definitely. A lot of the natural instincts of associates is to help our guests, even though you may not have the tools and skills to do your job properly or even the knowledge to do your job properly yet, but we're looking for that natural instinct of helping. So when a guest standing in front of some of the test questions that we even have, or some test scenarios that we even had, was that when you see someone standing on a doorway looking confused, looking misdirected, what was your first reaction? If it is not if it's not that you're attempting to help them right away, that is to us probably not the natural selection part of the hospitality instinct that we're looking for. So we're definitely looking for that type of stuff. And the second is that really the ability to learn. It is an evolving industry. Many of our staff here, I'm very proud to say, many of our staff here has been here more than 2 decades. And the average tenure of our associates here is more than 10, close to 15 years at this point. So many of them has been in the industry for the longest time, and since this establishment was inherited in the past. And what really distinguishes them, what doesn't change in the evolving time, is the genuine sense of hospitality. They're able to adapt because they genuinely wanted to help. They just adapt to learn new skills to help people in a different way. But the natural instinct of helping is always there. And the other thing that I always want to say is start with hiring. Everything starts with hiring rather than training. If you have hired the right people, the training becomes a lot easier. That is a tough one, actually, because ultimate experience or the perfect experience looks different from guest to guest. And what we usually try to do the best is try to get to know our guests the most before they arrive. And I'll take a couple examples here. We have many of the individuals, Kenneth, one of the guests that have been coming here for 40 years. We know exactly what he's ordering. As soon as he walks in the door, we even know what time he's going to arrive to the bar, typically around what time. We're preparing for his meal already at that moment. So for us, the ultimate experience is the one that's most custom to that individual, to that specific guest. It comes down to we researching, getting to know, making that meaningful connection with the guest, and customize it in a way as we curate it. And funny enough, many guests actually change along their life journey too. They may start off liking certain dish, and later on they're liking something else that we are offering. So oftentimes when you're developing that ultimate experience, it's more about listening. It's more about, hey, do you want to try this out? And knowing them by name. And to us, it's very important in coming to a Hilton and Riverfront Grill here, is that we're addressing our members, our Hilton Honors members, by their status, by their goal, by their names, when we get to know them and make them feel important, make them feel like that we're only here for them tonight. And I have to say that we've seen a lot of these trends changing over the last few years or so. The romance package, give it an example, that we have running at the hotel. It used to be flower petals on the bed, and then you have, balloons and all that kind of stuff, and they're set out with a bottle of champagne. Many of them remain pretty much the same, but the chocolate remained one of the classic offerings nowadays. But now people are more looking for an experience. Instead of flower petals on their beds, actually, if you offer them a wine dinner for a couple, if you're offering a wine pairing educational session for them, to them that's the perfect date night. That's the perfect romance package nowadays, compared to back in the day, just the decorations and all that. So to create that ultimate experience for guests, it's really about listening to individuals as they are coming in with us to dine with us, to stay with us, and we're listening, we collect these notes, we develop a new package for that individual, we continue that connection with that individual. We have a few long-term guests here who knows us by name at this point. And then she really felt like home. We have furniture designated for her. We set up a TV for her, all that. It's really about that customization that makes people feel experienced.
Make them feel like it's a home away from home.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's so rare nowadays too, because a lot of these hotels are many cookie cutters, if you will. Here's what you got, here's the amenity, give you a script of a list of amenities that you're giving off. Here you experience different. Yeah, the most amount of comments that I get, to be honest, is we may not be the newest hotel on the block. We've been around for a long, long, long time.
Correct.
But our people here really make you feel like home. You feel like it's not just front desk. You actually remember a Tony at the front desk, Melina at the front desk. You know them by name because they make sure that you feel like home. Make sure that you count on them more than just the front desk agent. That is the culture that we have.
Beautiful. Well, thank you.